Welcome for another edition for the Environment Dialogue here at UCT. I'm your host, Dickens Ochero. Today we are delving into a crucial matter that has affected most Ugandans. That's why you've been hearing of very many complaints, the outbursts of the water, since we are in the rain season right now in Uganda. And we have seen that there are very many concerns which is happening in the public, in the community, with the government agency, and a lot of people are pointing at NEMA, pointing at KCCA. And who is to blame? Because everything which happens in the parlor of Africa, there is always someone to blame. And as today we are going to address this issue, this topic that we want to share, we want to explore it together with the public so that at least you understand certain aspects that we need to incorporate so that we see at least a sustainable protection of our nature or motherland. And today's topic is about wetlands protection in Uganda. And I know that many people, since the president declared it as something which is a no-go zone area, even he said that he doesn't mind who is the big fish or what, but it's something that we need to take upon, that he will not let anyone play with the wetland. As we know that wetland is the kidney of the mother earth, and all of us, we need to understand this, that if this ecosystem is affected, we know that all of us, we are in problems. You've seen the scenario right now which is happening in Kasese, the flooding, which kills some of the pupils who are going at school. You've heard of the Bududa scenario, you've heard of the Banda, what happened in Banda last week, you've heard of Kawempe, Boise. Really, I don't know if we are safe in Kampala here, if we don't act fast. That's why today I've invited a young person who is really passionate about the climate change. She's an innovator. She's a person who really always see that we incorporate science into the conversation of environment. And today, that's why we could not hesitate to invite her so that she can share with us more knowledge. How can the public cope with all these issues which is happening around us in the community? And I don't want to waste time, but to welcome her, because it's not our first time to be in this show. She has always graced our show, and I think we are having her for the third time this time. So you're most welcome. Please greet the viewers.
Thank you very much, Dickens. Good evening to you all. My name is Kungu Samantha, and just as you've introduced me to the viewers, I'm a researcher, an innovator, and a student of Chambogo University, but also one that is passionate about climate change. So when I see some of these things happening around my areas from Banda, I can see how people are affected by the different challenges in society. So all these things go back to how best can I, as a young person in this country, Uganda, work towards curbing of the climate change related issues. And yeah, I started this journey right from my senior 6 vacation, and I'm still moving forward. Yes.
All right, thank you, Samantha. You have heard her. Today she's going really to articulate and digest for us more and more about wetlands. You know that in Uganda, that wetlands cover 11% of the land total area here in Uganda. And out of this 11% of the total land surface, we know that wetlands are good for the purifications, for the habitat for the biodiversity. They are also, wetlands really has played very significant role here in our country. But you know that most people are, due to ignorance, they have not really understood the importance of wetlands. And you know, someone is using wetlands for the benefit of certain things, and they don't know that really it's because of the existence of like a wetlands or someone's initiative of protecting that ecosystem. That's why maybe they are hunting that, maybe they're hunting from that, maybe the piparias, maybe they're hunting, maybe doing certain practices, certain good practices, certain farming, like smart farming in those wetlands. That's why they are able to reap out of that. But now the question is, Samantha, now with this, that we are right now in the rain season and the rain is back, what is the government going to do all about this? With all these outcries you've had from the local community in Banda, in Boise, and We have faced the problem with Luigi. We have had also of the Chase saga. All this because of what? The effect of human activities that they have really degraded the wetlands. They have entered into, they have affected the kidney of the earth. And you know that now, right now, water has no respect. When you really enter into his house, I think it will come for you. And now here, as an innovator, as a scientist, you've been moving in this community, what can the government do about all these issues which are cropping up within our community?
Thank you very much. So, the government has done a certain percentage, but it hasn't yet done it all. To begin with, it has set very important policies that are governing these wetlands. Yes, that we know areas, to begin with, a wetland. Do people even know the definition of a wetland? Do they even know why we need to preserve these wetlands?
They know. Yes. When the president talked of it, most of them, they were reacting to the president's statement.
They could be knowing the definition, but they don't know the importance.
Because it was a national call to order by the president.
Yes, exactly. So the government has done a great job in putting up these policies, but now it's our job as the people that are living in these communities. As a person that is staying near a wetland, I feel like the government needs to do more sensitization. That before they go and evict, because we have seen people around Machindye being evicted from that wetland. I can't mention the name, I don't recall so well. But we have seen the government trying to evict people from different wetlands. And now people are getting furious. They don't have compensation. They are being evicted in a very rude manner. You're given a very short time to be evicted. That's 21 days. Yes? 3 weeks. How do you expect someone to relocate from somewhere they have stayed over 4 years for 3 weeks? So these are some of the small steps to begin with, that as much as we are pushing forward for wetland protection, we should give people the time to prepare. We have to prepare them mentally and physically. Yes? That with the mental preparation, we are looking at having the government send out people in these communities, the people that are staying around wetlands. When you come and evict them in a very rude manner without clear education on why you're evicting them, on why they need to preserve the wetlands, they're going to move in a very bitter way because they're seeing some of these other officials also occupying the same land, but they're not being evicted. And also, it might take them a short time for them to come back and relocate because now we lack follow-ups in some of these systems. Yes? So some of the things we need to do is the government needs to do, is to send out people to these local communities, the people that are staying around these wetlands, have them educated on why do we need to preserve, have them talk about, explain to them the effects. And now, that wasn't done before, but people are seeing these things by themselves. That as much as we say Africans believe by seeing, they are seeing some of the repercussions of occupying those areas. Exactly, they are learning in a hard way. Because we are seeing areas flooded, transportation is being limited because roads are being blocked by water. And when you pass in such an area, you might find some of them are not even passable, they're impassable, sorry. Yeah, cars cannot pass, transportation is difficult, there is a lot that is hindered. And these are some of the effects of lack of wetland protection back in the years. Now we are facing the repercussions. Now, if we can reduce some of the effects in time, because as I keep on saying that we are working for a sustainable future. And if we want a sustainable future, we are going to have to act now as the young people. So the government has to put out people there, send out that information, tell them of the dangers, try to give them time to prepare, mentally prepare them for eviction, and then after that, they can relocate. Then the harsh actions can come in later.
How will you relocate them when someone said that I was born in Banda, I grew up in Banda as a young person, and where are you taking me? Maybe if you're saying maybe the government, the only place that the government has maybe Nakasongola to take them, and someone cannot accept to go and start life in Nakasongola when he's using.
No, Dickens. You see, NEMA has been evicting most of these people, and they have been giving claims of my grandparents have been here for the past 40 years, this has been here for the past 40 years. But now, if we continue with such claims, we are not going to finish up with this struggle. Yes, because as much as you've been born in that community, So you're going to wait for, now some of the communities are being flooded, but people don't even know why the areas are flooding in the first place. Yeah? So if you don't educate people from the basics of why do we need these wetlands, water purification, wastewater purification, and these things filter the water. You get some of these basic importances, then they won't see the importance of leaving that wetland and protecting it for the future generations to come. Because I'm sure the people that are flooding right now also gave excuses years then that our parents have been here for years and we need to stay here, you can't relocate us. Those are, I want to call them silly excuses. Because right now we are talking about our lives. When we talk about the environment, this is what we depend on. So if we can fail to protect the environment, we are failing to protect our lives in the long run. Yes.
Yeah, because like we have seen whereby the government has taken initiative of training even leaders, community leaders, the LCs, we have even different committees, we have even the CSOs, the NGOs, different that move in these communities, and they have trained them in waste management. We have seen different government initiatives, especially trying to come up with the technical, like let me say that the science of how to incorporate science, maybe even bring in like the security protection unit, like environmental policy in place and training them. We have seen last year even NEMA coming up, launching up the environmental police, which are supposed to be in this community. But you find that these people, they say that they go out, they talk to people, but they are still hesitant, they are still adamant. Someone, because is affiliated to certain political party, it tries to, even the leaders try to politicize everything. So now, with all this mindset, do you think that the government can achieve maybe what they already have in place, or the plans? Because you've talked about the policy. You know, Uganda, we have the best policies, I think, in Africa. But why is it that we have failed to implement these policies?
Governance is an issue. I won't even hesitate to say this. Dickens, we have seen, we know of several private organizations, climate-related, that are pushing forward for these good practices. Every now and then we have cleanups in different communities, yes? I've been a part of a cleanup of Environmental Hub, Uganda, and then, you know, Youth Go Green.
Yeah? Did people own your initiative?
Exactly. Now, you see the thing with these cleanups, you find that you're doing, most of the cleanups, you're doing most of, you know, picking up trash here and there, try to speak to some community, try to speak to some people, you know, in the community, talking to them about the benefits of picking up this plastic, the benefits of doing this. So I feel like the government needs to strengthen the partnerships, but also something that's lacking is lack of follow-ups. Because many things have been launched, Dickens. Yeah. Policies have been made, yes? Yes. And we have been doing all these things, trying to you know, see how we adapt to the ongoing climate change crisis. So exactly, a lot has been done, but there is lack of follow-up on most of the activities that are done. I can give you an example that if you went and evicted someone today from, let's say, Kasese, where you say that they are in some of, you know, for drowning, others have, so there are some missing bodies. So if you try to launch a policy that is evicting people from wetlands, let the government make it an initiative to follow up. See what's the impact assessment of what we did, the policies that we are putting in place. People don't even know these policies. Truthfully speaking, if you went out there and you met a local person from these grassroots communities, not even grassroots communities, I can take you to campus. If I moved around with a microphone interviewing different campus students moving, I can assure you they don't even know a single policy. So some of these things, and you can't fight for what you don't know.
The problem? Is it because as a student now that we have, you know, we have smartphones, people in social media, TikTok, YouTube has brought all the information.
Exactly.
But why haven't they interested themselves in knowing these policies when they can at least Go use their smartphones.
You see, Dickens, I love that thought, but trying to think on a deeper level, that's a personal thing, yeah? But also the government should find ways of making this interesting to the community, I mean to the people that are viewing these things. Because if I can give you an example of the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, yeah? We have had organizations that go deep down into these communities, translating these Sustainable Development Goals in the local languages, what people can understand.
Is it for students or for the community?
It's general for the community, because for students you understand English if you're at university, to start with the basics. So for our university student not to know the policies, it's possibly because they don't want to, or lack of the knowledge of the existing policies anyways, because we also have people that say, oh no, me, I'm doing this course, so most definitely I don't need to know about these things. You get. So if at all we can get it into their minds that you need to know these things, because in the long run, they will help you with whatever you're doing. So we need these policies broken down to the people, be it the university student, even if they have like dialogues talking about the different policies in different sectors. We have students at campus that are offering environmental science, and these are things they need to know. And I'm glad some of the private sector organizations, the CSOs, are trying to like push forward for this. We're having dialogues on renewable energy, dialogues on this and that. So there is some effort, but a lot needs to be done, because as much as the students may have some knowledge about it, but the most affected people are the people in the local communities. There is a total disconnection between what is implemented in the offices and the people in the local communities, because a lot is said, a lot is launched, and there are several things happening up there that the people down here do not know about, and they are the most affected. So let's find ways of breaking down information in a friendly manner, that even someone who is scrolling through their TikTok can have the basic knowledge of what policy is governing this area. Then they will know that, oh, I'm not supposed to occupy this place. That let it be just ignorance.
But have you heard of the say that they say that Africans don't love to read? That if you want to hide a secret, put it in a book for an African, and that secret will be safe.
That's why I didn't say put it in a book. Let's break it down in a friendly manner. Friendly manner, we know that most of the people right now are, involved in different activities, but we are living in a digital world where you find most of the things are digital. Be it books, they're digital books. And it's going to be hard to send a full book of like policies to someone down there. That's why I said it's best we make it in a friendly way. Trying to advocate for these things, yeah? But disseminate that information in a way that is understandable to a local person, so that they can appreciate them and work towards them. Because we need collective effort if we are to achieve, if we are to adapt to the ongoing climate change crisis. It is collective effort. We won't stop talking about it in these spaces, but we have to think about the people in the local communities.
Oh, okay, you have spoken of that interpreting all this climate language into different
languages.
local language, and because I know, yes, that there are people, when you even say that what's climate change in your local language, I don't know even if you understand maybe climate change in your local language. Let me save it for another day. Since okay, like you say that still the government say that at least they have tried to do this, but really, is it that our local leaders who are down there who receive in this information, are they the one who are a problem, who keep this information with them? Or maybe also people are reluctant, that they don't want to act about asking for accountability or interesting themselves? Where is really the problem? But we only see when there is already a problem, like right now, that everyone is crying over, that they are swimming with their saucepans in their houses, their what. But when NEMA was saying, please move away from this area, they were abusing NEMA. But now, right now, they are saying government tuyambe. So where is the problem exactly?
Thank you for highlighting on that, by the way. As the people of Uganda, as the young people, and everyone responsible, because climate change affects us all. That's for fact.
Yeah, it's
we are going to
the rich, the poor. That's why you've
exactly.
seen everyone is crying.
We are going
Even the rich are crying.
We are going to have to stand up for ourselves on this matter, because it's affecting you, it's affecting me, and we are talking about our lives. This is not something to joke with.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not a joking matter. So we are going to have to act, and that's the harsh truth that most Ugandans want to talk about or listen to. That if you feel that your local leaders or whoever is in charge is not acting accordingly, then you're going to have to stand up on their behalf. Say something. But because most of us get into this comfort zone that, oh, he didn't do this, oh, he didn't do that. It's just like being in a lecture, and you know you have, it's not being in a lecture, you know you have a lecture at 9 a.m. and you have a coordinator for that class, for your class, yes? So if all of you are seated, all of you students are seated in the room waiting for the coordinator, and then at 9, the coordinator is not responding, he's not saying anything, then one of you is going to have to stand up and reach out to the lecturer himself, or find ways of stepping in that gap to coordinate the lecture for it to happen. Because why? You want to learn and you don't want your time to be wasted. Exactly. So that's the same thing. If we go back to a community setting, you know you have a local leader. If that's where the accountability and information is good, that if you know the policies that are existent, you know what exactly is supposed to take place in your community, you're going to work towards seeing all those things achieved, that you're going to hold your local leaders accountable for what they have done and what they have not done. Because we have to see results. So if the people staying in my village are not seeing the results of a road that was made to construct some place, we shall have to hold our local leader accountable. You get?
Yeah.
So some of these things, it's us. Actually, most of the issues we face is that we have chosen to go into our comfort zone and left everything to the local leaders. We have to hold them accountable because we're talking about our lives. As I've said, climate change affects us all. So we have to stand up and act.
All right then. You've heard from Samantha herself, an innovator, a passionate youth about climate change. You know, when you're talking about the issue of adaptation, mitigation, and that's why we are asking the question that does the science perspective or the IT perspective, can it help us with the issue of dealing with climate change? If we are talking about, since she is a representative of STEM, which is under the Ministry of Science, and she has been participating in very many hackathons, that we know that we can bring this idea and we see how we can help with the community. So let's go for a short commercial break and we shall get back with more interesting discussion on this show. So stay tuned, don't touch your dial, we shall be back within a short time. Thank you.
UCTV, good news for all.
Tiene que soñar.
Hello and welcome to UCTV. Welcome to Connect with Mary.
You're the Alpha and the Omega.
The Catholic television. I'm Sunday Gloria Watch with UCTV News.
We need people to pay for content.
Bernardo Silva, Matheus Nunes, and Haaland!
Swings it across to Christie.
UCTV, good news for all.
I am Father Son Augustine Masbreka, bring you inspiration quotes on this Youth TV, and don't miss good news for all. Thank you.
Kuleza Farm with Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan of up to 50 million shillings for a solar-powered irrigation system on your farm. Enjoy a grace period tailored to your cash flows and loan offer amounts from 100,000 up to 50 million Uganda shillings with flexible loan periods up to 60 months. Apply for a Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan through our branches, agents, and enjoy a fixed interest rate of just 1.7% per month. Kuleza Farm with Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan today and watch your farming dreams come to life. Visit any of our nearest branch today or call our toll-free line 0800 200 555 or 0800 335 344.
Centenary Bank.
Centenary Bank is a member of the Center Group regulated by Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits of up to 10 million shillings are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Terms and conditions apply.
Support the Uganda Catholic Television with MTN Momo. Step 1. Dial *165*3#. Step 2. Enter merchant code 180572. Step 3. Enter any amount from 500 Uganda shillings. Step 4. Pay using MTN mobile money. Step 5. Enter PIN code and send. Step 6. You will receive a confirmation text for supporting the Uganda Catholic Television.
Ronaldo down in the area, penalty!
Don't miss the sports link on UCTV. Catch us every Monday to Friday from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. as we take you into the thrilling world of sports in football.
And Messi! Thuram! Mbappe!
Sakashu deflects in, Arsenal have the lead!
Netball,
Nasanga taking the shot. Look at that exceptional steal.
motorsports, boxing, swimming, and much more. UCTV Sports Link with Samgenza Mustafa. Only on UCTV. Good news for all.
UCTV. Good news for all.
Welcome back, our dear viewers, from that short commercial break. We are still here at the UCTV Environmental Dialogue, trying to explore different issues which are cropping up within our community, which is happening around all the part of Africa. And you know that for us, we can never let you down. We are here to share your voices. We are here to explore more initiatives that we can really incorporate with the ideas that the government is trying to table. And you know, now with that, we are in the rainy season. We need really to invite very many stakeholders. We know that there are very many people with brilliant ideas that can really share with us so that we can learn. And what you've learned, try to implement. If you know that you still lack connections, we are here also to try to help you how you can connect to different sectors like NEMA, National Environmental Management Authority, in case you want to understand anything about the license, how to acquire license, maybe for a particular. I don't want to encourage that. Maybe you're going to affect our headline or degree, but we just want that to do a rightful thing. Like especially want to deal with National Forest Authority, that's NFA. We are here also to help you so that we connect to those government agencies. Then you get help rather than just keeping quiet there and dying with your question and struggling. Then at the end of the day, you become a culprit of the policy, because the policy or the law is a no respecter of anyone. The day you're caught, you will pay for it. All right then. Before going for that short commercial break, I was trying to tell Samantha that how can the government especially interest the young people in the aspect of technology, aligning it with climate change. That we know that right now we have, the adaptation, the national adaptation, planning we have the mitigation measures that people are coming up with, which some other people they are looking it in line with maybe the carbon credit. So people are speaking of the circular economy, NBS, nature-based solutions. There are a lot of things that people are speaking of, but we find that the community members within us, they are not yet understanding those things. So now, as you, a young person, the youth, a female who is aggressive, who is into the technology, how can the government interest these young people to come up with certain ideas that can help maybe to push it in the, I've been still telling you that you read about the Lord Mayor's argument last time in the interview where he said that KCC has no enough budget to what? To help in drainage management. So now, as now a young person from especially a civil society who represent the 70%, how can the government interest these young people who are into science? Because we have seen that the president also has really tried to bring certain perspective or motivation to encourage science in our country, so that everyone should get into technology. Then we see that at least we help with these cropping issues within our community.
Yes, the government has pushed forward for some of these things, especially through the Ministry of ICT, because me and a team of colleagues, we formed up a company called Green Tech. And Green Tech, before it was formed up, it started as a hackathon. We attended a hackathon under the Ministry of ICT. It was in partnership with the Estonian government. So through this hackathon, we were solving agricultural problems and also climate-related problems, but using technology. Okay. So those are some of the innovative ways. Oh, by the way, we won the hackathon, and right now we are trying to, push forward to see how we can make this a big thing for the country to adapt to, because we are looking at climate change adaptation. Okay. And those are one of the ways that the government can push forward. We have to look for strategic partnerships with these different organizations, because now this was in partnership with the Estonian government on education, but there are also these other different private partnerships that the government can have.
Have you tried to interest especially National Environmental Management Authority like NEMA, who are into coordinations, and you see that right now we have the issue of the wetlands, which is a very loud outcry here in the country. Have you tried to approach those sectors like NEMA, NFA?
Yeah, some of those sectors are approachable, but most of them have issues with funding. So as much as they want to do so much, they are limited by the budgeting. You find they've already budgeted for certain activities, so even if you bring in something in between, it may not be pushed forward. But one of the ways forward is having hackathons. The government should be able to, through its different ministries, Ministry of ICT, Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, this is a call to these different ministries to organize hackathons and possibly partnerships, but even through these hackathons that might be organized, because through these hackathons, there are different young people that get involved, and these young people have innovative solutions. I've interacted with over 20 people, so many people with very innovative ideas. Yes, and these are technology correlated, because that's the future we are going into, the future of AI, the future of technology. Everyone, the Gen Zs, they call it, they want a simple life, things made easy. But as much as we are making things easy, we are trying to also solve some of the great challenges. For the floods that are happening in the different places, how about we had different flood sensors, that if at all we notice certain, weather changes and all that stuff, we can predict and evict people in time, not waiting for people to die before we can evict them. So these are some of the roles that technology can play, And then, different systems out there, emergency controls, that people don't have to wait on the physical arrival of the rescue teams, but how about we had different technological systems that can rescue the people in time, the emergency systems, Someone was talking about different projects. When recently I visited Uganda Industrial Research Institute, yeah? Okay. And you find that there are different innovative solutions by the young people out there. But where are they limited? Funding, most of them stop at prototype, yes? And most of these things are done by students. So it's either their idea sold out there, or possibly bought by some foreign person or a foreign entity. And yeah, then your dream dies there and then. And also, some other people, I think, lack motivation, because as much as you have an idea, and then someone comes and tells you that, no, that's not possible, you'll obviously lose it up at that. So if the government can find strategic ways of having these innovative solutions put into place, yeah? Let's have these solutions brought to life. Let's just not have hackathons.
But we have like the UN agencies like UNDP who have been really supporting the innovations, especially look at the young people. Is it like the problem maybe with the young people are ignorant that they don't know that there is a docket in the UN that support this innovation, all this hackathon, these ideas?
No, it's not about that. Okay, to one extent, it's the ignorance of the students, yeah? Because people don't know of these opportunities out there. You can get lucky if you find out some of these links that maybe there is a grant being put here, or there is a hackathon happening here, and maybe this money. You're lucky to receive some of these links. The mobilization has to be real good so that they can reach out to the majority of the students, and most of them are usually links. That's why it takes us back to the local communities. How are they involved in this process? Yes? So some of these things, they need to do mobilization, good mobilization to reach as many people. But also you notice, just like you've mentioned, UNDP, Makere has iPod, Chambogo has the Innovation Clinic. So all these things are in place. But we are going to need the government to push forward for these ideas, because as much as they start from the prototype stage, I've seen so many ideas die at prototype, or even just winning a hackathon. And those are the major challenges that these innovation centers are facing, that as much as they are cultivating the knowledge, but where is the knowledge? If you ask yourself, we have so many innovation clinics in the country, yeah? I don't want to mention most of them, but you all... Exactly. So I want you to think, if at all the technological sector is going forward in the country, why do we have so many hackathons organized year in, year out, but no results at the end of the year? Because these are some of the things that are supposed to cultivate. When I look at the solution I have, I look at potential. Yes? Me and my colleagues have pushed forward for this. And we're limited by a few issues, but most of them are financial. Yes? But this is something that can push the country to the next step. If we are talking of machinery, there is a lot of machinery that needs to be innovated and also manufactured within the country. Do you know how much would have saved from the imported machines? So that's also where the Ministry of Science and Technology has also pushed a step, because they have created the National Science, Technology, Engineering and Innovation Center in Chiruhura and Namamve. So these are still new centers, but you can clearly see that there is a vision to it. I just hope it's followed. But there is future in technology. And if we can have students, our Ugandan students, if we are given the opportunity, students from campus, let's push forward for these projects. If we are having, let's say, proposals, let's encourage the students who have these research proposals to research on climate-based, challenges. Because as Wetlands, I've given you an example, if at all we can have maybe different sensors, different emergency systems put in place, we would have so much solved.
But we have had, like, the government always complains that the youth, the young people are disorganized, the young people are operating in silos, they don't have a network, that they operate, maybe channeling their issues, or maybe their plans through. Is it like the problem with leadership, or maybe the young people are not informed what's happening?
Those guys are pushing their own agenda that I don't know, but the young people are organized. We have the disorganized young people, but one of the most organized people that you'll find in the country are the technology students. If you meet an engineer or a group of engineers, you'll see how organized they are. So I doubt that is an issue that we are facing. It's just a way of maybe pushing forward for something.
And that's why you've seen that we are seeing foreign transfer of technology into our country. And you've said that we have all these technology with the young people are embracing. They're trying to practice. They're trying to sell it out. But we are not seeing the marketing. We are not expressing, or even the government is not feeling it. And we have different agencies that are really able to support this. That's why now my question, is it maybe a problem with the communication or coordination, or there is a gap between the young people and the government?
The last one is the most true. There is a gap between the government and the young people, that's for fact. But also we are affected with some of these challenges, yeah? Because most innovations stop at prototype. Yeah. That's the whole point. But what is the issue? Why doesn't it go past prototype? Funding, acceleration, yeah? Then, even if they go past acceleration and then they have a minimum viable product, you're going to find that this product is not embraced. And I don't know why also Ugandans have that bias that if it's made in Uganda, it's not as good as something made in China or made in the UK. That's also a stereotype we have to remove.
But the president has introduced boo-boo.
There is boo-boo, but do you know, if you went to a supermarket and you went okay with a friend or someone, if you see something made in the UK and something made in Uganda, I assure you the person is going to opt for the one made in the UK for no specific reason, and yet we have the potential. I feel like we need to be yes, it's a mindset thing that needs to be changed over time, because we have proven that we can do so much more with our technology. Yes, so also we can do so much in protecting of our wetlands. We should think of, you know, having smart drainage systems, and the technological sector can provide that. Yeah. But also we need the government to look at the drainage system in some of these areas, because right now the damage is caused. Even if you evict people, some of these wetlands no longer exist. They don't.
So what can we do? Should we send these people? But also if the government say that they don't have money, especially to evict these people out of these places, like for instance, where will you put the people of Kasokoso?
Let them wait for the rains to, let them wait to wake up as they swim. Then they will know that it is a serious issue. So I feel like the government has done most of its part, but it's our time to act. Because if you're staying in the valley of Banda, you're going to face these floods. Yeah? If you're staying near a swamp, you're going to know that when it rains, you're going to be affected. So why not evict yourself from an area that you know is dangerous and you're risking your life staying around that area? If you treasure your life, if you treasure your family, you will evict yourself before the government even comes for you. Yes?
So it's a balance of scale.
It's a balance of scale.
And the government.
The government is trying to do its part, but also as a community, do your part. If you know that you're staying in such risky areas, find ways of evacuating yourself before it's too late. Don't wait to lose your life. Don't wait to lose your family before you can know that, you know, we need to protect our wetland, or before you can face the repercussions of staying around these areas. And also these policies that are in place have to be strengthened, because if the government has put up policies, but the government needs to also disseminate them in a very friendly manner to the people around to understand, why do we need to protect the wetlands? Why is it important? How risky is it for me to stay here? Am I going to be arrested? Because you find most of the people they evict, they don't even know what it means to protect the wetlands. They're just seeing them, just seeing them run and stuff like that. So we need to strengthen.
They can get bricks.
Exactly. They're looking at their business dying. They are looking at this and their buildings broken. And yet the government is trying to save their lives. Those are some of the things they do not see. So let the policies be strengthened. Let them be broken down in a very friendly manner to the people before evacuating them. But also we need proper drainage systems in the cities, especially those that are around, that are in low-lying areas, because they're the most affected. You recently saw the floods there around Nambole, yeah? But if we had proper drain, because now we have to look for ways of adapting to this climate change issue. And the way forward is to have smart drainage systems so that we're not putting people's lives at risk. And if the government can invest in that, we would be very glad. Hopefully the money is not corrupt. Hopefully the people are not corrupt. Because that's also an issue we have. I'm sure they put in place to construct very good roads, but you'll find some money is diverted, you know, for other things. So if we can have good governance, if we can have these drainage systems put in place, there is a lot that can be saved, and it's not too late to start.
Okay.
The time is now.
All right. You have heard from Samantha, who is trying to address and giving us a recommendation. Before, I know that we are at the nick of time. Please let me give 1 minute to give for her to give our parting shots. Please, just give us your parting shots in 1 minute.
Yes. So, dear viewers, this is a chance for you, to all the young people, to all Ugandans. If you know that you are Ugandan, climate change affects you and me. And it's our time to speak. It's our time, not to speak actually, it's our time to act. Because a lot has been spoken, a lot has been put in place. But we need to stand up. Let's hold our leaders responsible if we feel that they are not doing what they have to do. And as the young people out there, we need to use this youthful energy to push forward for some of these things. Yeah? So climate change affects us all, and it's our time to stand up and make the change.
Thank you. You have heard that from I call what Mrs. Samantha or Madame Samantha, but she's still I think a Gen Z. She belongs even to the Gen Z. I know that you have heard a lot from her, which she's saying. She's trying to say that climate change is real. Doesn't respect the poor, the rich, the educated, PhD, or why you have masters, or why you have studied, or what. No, it's everyone's concern. It's all people to really to embrace this and to take action. That's why the UN SDG slogan said, leave no one behind. It's about taking upon you the leadership and leading yourself and see, what can I do for my area, for my community? Because we have the nature-based solutions. She has spoke of the science perspective, but we also have simple solutions that you can do practice. That's the reason why Uganda Day this week is holding the African Regional SDG Conference, which is happening today at Speak Resort Munyonyo, whereby those ones who have applied to attend those conferences, go and learn different ideas, go and network. If you cannot go to Munyonyo, please, there is a link that you can use out. Maybe you listen to what other people are urging about, are saying about. We have different conferences that are coming up that are organized by different agencies, stakeholders. So we are here as UCTV Environmental Dialogue to always give you update, to let you know what's happening within our part of Africa that you need to understand. That's the reason why we invite different people who are knowledgeable to share with you this knowledge. And we will never stop that until we see change and we see that the beauty of our part of Africa is protected. And I will still remain Dickens Ochero, your show host for the Environmental Dialogue. And I want you that whoever wants to support us, support this show, please, you're most welcome. Go and those ones, even though we know that sometimes you miss this, you miss those ones who are busy, that you know that you feel you cannot watch this show live from 8 to 9. We can still catch up us with our YouTube channel. We have the link. You just type Environmental Dialogue. It will bring for you, and you watch it. Please share with your friends. Share in different groups. Like it, please, because when you like it, when you share it, that's when the information reach out to very many mass of people that they will understand what's happening. So without that, I know that we are at the nick of time. I want to thank you for sacrificing your time to listen to this conversation, and we shall be back next time. So I remain by my team, and I would love to thank Samantha for sacrificing our time. I want to thank even people at the set, my producers at the set, for sacrificing them time to make this happen. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you next time.
UCTV. Good news for all.